here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to championship match. We've got Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. This is my brutality. Yeah. You know, it's interesting how when Rhea Ripley was first in NXT, she did an outstanding job. She was part of that War Games match and absolutely friggin' pulverized. Yeah, she murdered that, I tell you. Shayna Baszler, and, you know, did very well for herself. So after the War Games, Rhea was still doing fairly well for herself in NXT. She also did become the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. Yeah. Did fairly well for herself there in NXT UK. Then mainly did a lot with NXT, and then, you know, was a part of the triple Survivor Series, you know, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And then stayed with NXT for a little bit. Ended up winning the NXT Women's Championship from Shayna Baszler. Goes and defends it at WrestleMania last year against Charlotte. And then, you know, this year going into WrestleMania again, but challenging for the Raw Women's Championship. And it's like, ooh, you talk about making big waves in your debut. That's one way to do it. Challenge the champion right out of the gate. Got a lot of balls, girl. You got some big balls, girl. Yeah. And I mean, look, she went into WrestleMania last year, you know, facing Charlotte for the NXT title. Yeah. Well, she was the NXT champion, yes. And for some reason had to lose it. Yeah. So this year she's gonna go in and face Asuka, and it just seems perfect. I mean, yeah. Look, I understand she came in and she challenged her right away. Yeah. That's just, you know, what Paige did on her debut on Raw, so... Well, yeah. I don't want to hear it, and... Yeah. So, I think this is going to be a good match. I like Asuka, but... if Rhea don't win, then I want to see a long feud. Yeah. I mean... yeah, to put the belt on her right away, it's up in the air, but... how long do you want to have Asuka come out and say, "You're not ready for Asuka"? You know? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. And she's already proven that she's just another female wrestler when she fucking lost the Charlotte at WrestleMania 34! Meh. So... yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Asuka. I want to see Rhea go over, but it just seems right now it's gonna be Asuka. Right? It doesn't add up in a way because yeah. As far as I'm concerned, this kind of falls under the same category as Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca's been on SmackDown for just a little bit longer than Rhea, and, you know, have a championship match straight out of the chute is like, okay, that's all well and good, but it's like, you know, don't push them too fast, you know?
Exactly. Exactly right. Let's see what else Rhea can do before she can actually be a legit champion in the Raw roster.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Rhea is no doubt a badass, but, like,
Yeah.
winning the championship right out of the gate?
No,
I don't.
not right now. So let's go on to the Raw Tag Team Championships. We've got
New Day
versus AJ Styles and Amos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this one because, I mean, I like the New Day, but how long can you have them have the tag team titles? I mean, what kind of record are you going for? I don't get it. And plus, you have the New Day have matches with AJ and Amos, and they keep winning. So,
Yeah.
if AJ and Amos don't win on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which one it is now, then there is no hope for those two.
I mean, they bring in Omos. He's AJ Styles' bodyguard, if you will. You know, the Diesel, the HBK's son, whatever
Yeah,
the fuck that is.
yeah,
And, you know, he did get involved in some matches and has done some pretty awesome looking stuff. It's like, oh man, that dude looks like he's a force to be reckoned with. And now they're putting him in the ring and it's like, okay,
yeah.
this is going to be interesting. I have no idea what the dude's capable of.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, he's 7 foot, whatever. He's the tallest wrestler they've had there in WWE. And I was actually thinking about this too, reminiscent of WrestleMania 5. Because it was said that the Macho Man had a different title, a smaller WWE Championship than Hogan, because Hogan's waist is a lot broader, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you look at Amos, do you think they could actually have a big, well, that would look silly as well. One big tag team championship belt, average size tag team championship belt.
I mean, I'm sure either Omos would, like, have the title over his shoulder or maybe carry it. You know, you talk about what's the record New Day is going for. I mean, okay, they already have the longest tag title reign in company history at 463 days? 65 days? It's over 400 anyways.
Yeah.
And they're already 11-time tag champions. No one has ever held more tag team championships in WWE than the New Day.
Exactly, that's exactly right. So, I mean, you know, I like the New Day. I'm glad they're the champions now. But how long are you going to keep this going?
Yeah.
So, and plus, I think Kofi needs another singles push. A better singles push.
Well, yeah, you can say that.
But, I mean, what does that say about Xavier? I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they both need a singles push, but I don't know what to say about this one because I could easily say AJ and Amos, but I don't know. So, you know, for shits and giggles, yeah, I'm gonna say AJ and Amos because if they can't win on WrestleMania, then you know, fuck it.
I absolutely, positively, 100% see no chance in hell AJ or Amos are going to win. Okay, AJ is, you know, one hell of a wrestler. He's been multiple time WWE champion. He's had many great matches.
Yeah.
He's competed at WrestleMania before. You know, they call him phenomenal for a reason. That Omos is the X Factor.
Yeah.
Not knowing what that guy can do and what he's capable, we kind of know what he's capable of, but as far as like in-ring capability, just don't know. And there's gonna be something happen where, like, I mean, basically the New Day has already gotten one over on AJ twice.
Yeah.
Because they got Omos to cause a distraction. Essentially using his emotions against him. And if that happens again at WrestleMania...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna go well.
So we have a steel cage match for, well, for nothing. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman.
Can we please fucking end this bullshit already? Like, come on. Shane is a talented performer. He's, you know, the street brawler. He's had many great feuds in his career. Many great matches, but going the grade 7 schoolyard bully route on Strowman? And I mean, okay, we know about Braun's childhood, and he was picked on for his size, and he was, you know, a husky kid, and, you know, tall, and, you know, ate what he wanted, and, you know, ate as much as he wanted, and he got in shape, and, you know, came to WWE, and, you know, well, he got into the strong man thing, and, you know, Mark Henry saw him and got him into WWE, and he debuted as a Wyatt member, family member, and, you know, took off from there. But I mean, like, what are you doing with this storyline other than friggin' going back 10 years and saying, oh, you're big, you're dumb, you had a low report card as a kid, and all this other stuff. And it's like, since when did Braun Strowman go from being the monster among men to everybody's personal whooping boy? Like, straight up. What the hell did Braun Strowman do to deserve this? He goes from Universal Champion to Shane McMahon's punching bag? Why? It's no use. And I even think Shane's like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm calling this big bastard stupid and insulting his intelligence and all this other stuff. And I honestly think Shane's like, this is out of my fucking character. Like, okay, yeah, I was a heel before, but I never stooped to this level. What the? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? And we all are thinking the same thing. So please, I don't give a fuck who wins this. I more than likely see Strowman pulverizing the shit out of Shane anyways. And move on.
If you don't have Shane lose, then fucking shame on you. I don't know whose idea this was to begin with. And we saw Shane McMahon in the ring with Gunner and Samson, and he looked gassed. You know, like he didn't even want to fucking be there. Talking about the report card and all that bullshit. And you know something? That is the stupidest storyline I have ever heard. Whoever wrote that should be fucking fired. what have we become? Like, seriously. Braun Strowman is better than this. And come on, Shane, you're 51 years old. Stop acting like you're in 7th grade.
I know.
Seriously. So, I agree. I don't give a shit who wins. But I definitely know Braun's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
He has to win.
Yeah.
Fuck. So let's go on to this match. We've got two Quebecers. We have
Quebecois.
the Quebecois. Anyways.
Matt don't know French very well. Or at all.
So.
Okay, you know yes.
We know. And so we have this match.
Enchanté, mon ami.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? We have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. People are gonna fucking hate us now.
Meh.
We have this match, and these two guys go all the way back to Ring of Honor. Kevin Steen and El Generico. You saw that epic ladder match they had. And yeah, these two go way back.
Yeah.
So I mean, this match is gonna be awesome. I think this Sami Zayn character is trying to get somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
It's trying to get somewhere and it's going nowhere.
So it's gonna be one hell of a fight.
Yeah.
And not a wrestling match, a real fucking fight.
Mm-hmm.
To determine a winner, I'm not quite sure. Because I can see Sammy outsmart Kevin, but I know that he's gonna eat a couple stunners. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And happening to catch SmackDown from last week, the whole Logan Paul thing, that was funny.
Yeah. And I'm happy that he actually got to redeem himself and whatever, but yeah, it was kind of like, okay, it was just there.
Yeah.
So it's not for a title, but I think that it's still going to be an epic match. Kind of like Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, in a way. Not like, it's not going to be that sick, but yeah, it's hard to determine a winner.
Yeah. I mean, okay, rivalry renewed, that's fine. Where it's gonna go, I don't know, but yeah. Who's gonna win? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would it benefit? I don't know.
Exactly. So we got this match. Another renewed rivalry from 2017, I believe. Yes, it was. We got The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Yeah.
We talked about how Randy Orton is the apex predator. He's a viper. He's a legend killer. He would beat the shit out of his own mother and not give a care in the world. And this renewed rivalry with Bray Wyatt as a darker fiend, if you will, is kind of showing a different side to Randy's character, more vulnerable side. And, it's like, okay, you're evolving and adopting Randy's character. I mean, he's been in the business for almost 20 years. And so, I mean, you adapt and evolve his character again, cool. And, having the Fiend return after Randy set his ass on fire a few months ago, and it's like, okay, and it looks, it's something else. You talk about what nightmares are made of.
Yeah, it's either Bray Wyatt or a ejected member of Slipknot. So, I think that, you know what? Honestly, I think Randy Orton won the last one. Or no, actually, he didn't. I really don't want to see Randy go over, but that's kind of where it's leading right now.
Essentially, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to say it, and I know I said it in my last prediction for Fastlane or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, I'm gonna say Randy Orton.
Yeah.
If they could pull off a miracle, that would be great.
Oh, for sure. I mean, well, The Fiend and his initial run before that Firefly Inferno match was an unstoppable force. This new version of The Fiend, it's going to make things real interesting.
Yeah, and then not to mention the Alexa Bliss fiendish character, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a factor in that match as well.
And you know, for WWE to have faith in Alexa Bliss to carry on that storyline on her own with Randy, that shows you how much belief they have in her. But also, I think it was to further this dark character of Alexa's and give it more of a spotlight and work with her on it, and do all the things that they did, throwing the fireball at Randy, and having that stuff come out of her mouth, and her on all the screens, and then the Fiend in the box, and all of the stuff that they did with her and Randy was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then how the Fiend returned just a month ago, and with a new look, and carrying on their feud with those two, and it's like, alright, this storyline has been very well done. Will this be the final match and like a rivalry put to bed, and the end of a rivalry? I don't know, maybe if they continue on with it. I'm interested in knowing and seeing what more they will do with it and where they finally do end it.
Yeah.
But like you said, if Randy can pull off a miracle, yeah, he can win. Other than that...
No, actually, I meant Bray Wyatt, but I'm going to say Randy's going to win.
Well... Can Randy win? Yes. Will he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have it be like a redemption story, if you will. Randy burning the Fiend alive in that Firefly Inferno match, and then him get one over on Randy at WrestleMania here, and then maybe carry it on a little bit longer, and then eventually ended. But I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really hard to tell like how exactly it will be done, and okay, move on to something else.
Right.
But yeah, you say if Bray can pull off a miracle, he can win. See, it's both ways, honestly.
Yeah, okay. And so now we have the final match, the coup de grace, if you will. The Universal Championship match. We've got the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus the Edge, versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. And, it's like I said. Well, okay. When we did predictions for Fastlane, and they had the match with Bryan against Roman, and have Edge be the outside enforcer, I just threw in triple threat match, just kind of, that's, like, I just came up with that as, like, an idea, like, hey, you know, something may end up happening, and you could see a triple threat match, and then, of course, what went down at Fastlane went down, and here we are going into a triple threat match, and it's like, okay, I kind of unknowingly and unexpectedly called it, and then, you know, head into WrestleMania, and it's like, okay, Daniel's done very well for himself over the last little while. Edge has been fairly hot since he's come back from, you know, the tricep injury. Roman Reigns is as hot as ever. So, going into this match, it'll be a great match for sure. The thing is, as far as I'm concerned, Edge is gonna win. Edge has gotta win. It's not gonna go anywhere. It won't work. I mean, would it be cool to see Bryan as champion again? Yes, but my opinion, he doesn't really need it right now. And even say Edge wins and then you go into a rivalry with Edge and Bryan, cool. But I mean, like, you know, you want to have their true redemption story come to a fairy tale ending, and, you know, for Edge worked his ass off for 9 years to come back at the Rumble, and, you know, he wins the Rumble, and, you know, he goes on, and, you know, gets into a rivalry with Randy Orton again. He gets injured in the, you know, greatest wrestling match ever with his tricep. He's out for a little while, and he comes back, and, you know, gets to this point, and it's like, in order for it to be a fairy tale ending, give the title to Edge. And then, you know, have Edge hold the title and defend the title for however long you want him to have the title for. Then he can lose the title to whoever. And, you know, if he decides to keep wrestling, cool. If he decides to, you know, alright, I'm happy, I got another shot at the title. I redeemed myself from, you know, giving up the title when I had to retire 9 years ago. And I'm happy, I can walk away, be happy, and, you know, be a, I don't know, producer, help at the Performance Center, whatever. But, yeah. Please put the title on Edge. It needs to happen.
Yes, it does need to happen. And you know, it's disappointing when somebody like Bryan, who has had the neck injury, who has had to retire, and he comes back, and yes, he has been the WWE champion, he has been the heel, and he's defended that, and whatever. Wooden fucking bland fucking piece of shit toilet fucking stool softened piece of shit fucking title.
Yeah.
But to, in my opinion, bitch and moan and complain until you get what you want, because he has to have one match or it'll be his last. Give me a fucking break. You are not that old, and you can prove that you can still wrestle. How the fuck do you think you are? You could have had the tag team match with Edge to take on Roman and Jey Uso, but you had to have a match with Roman Reigns. A second Fastlane match that you lost to Roman Reigns. And you forcing Edge to beat the shit out of you at Fastlane before he storms off. And now people are gonna associate him as the heel, which I don't think should have happened. But in this triple threat, and I 100% agree, you can't have Edge come back and not have a title. Not have the WWE or the Universal title. That would be fucking highway robbery. Because who knows? Let's have Daniel Bryan versus Edge at Backlash. And don't give me that bullshit where you come out and you say, oh, the winner of this match should face me the second night. You know, how fucking dare you? I hope Roman Reigns and Edge team up and beat the shit right out of you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who entitlement do you think you are? So, in my humble opinion, yes. On Sunday, I want to see Edge as the new Universal Champion. And then, who knows what will happen from there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so this has been WrestleMania in the books. Well, WrestleMania predictions in the books. And yeah, this has been fun. I know that last year it wasn't so fun. But we'll see what happens. I know that I said this before, we're in another lockdown in Ontario, but we're not gonna worry about it.
No.
And yeah, this is a good prediction. So, do you have anything else to say?
WrestleMania is going to be definitely an interesting show. What's gonna happen, how it's gonna look, is yet to be seen. I have a feeling a lot of the matches on the card are going to be absolutely outstanding. There's some matches that are like, okay, we're going into this blind, if you will, but, you know,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens when it comes around, and ooh, I can't wait.
Well, this will be the first WrestleMania since 35 that we had an audience.
Yeah,
So as long as you don't fuck it up, you know.
yeah,
And I believe that it's not going to be like that at all, because Raymond James Stadium is huge.
oh yeah,
So if you have like a few people, however the numbers are, you know, they could space out easily.
oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely be looking forward to it, you know. But anyways, another episode of Wheels of Fury, another WrestleMania done,
Yeah,
and it's not going to be sad this time. I'm Mean Matt, this is Killer Carl, and we will see you next time. Deuces.
until next time.